Welcome, everyone. I want to thank you all for coming, and I also want to thank everyone who sent me their birth information so I could do some little mini readings on them. So what I really want to convey with these Facebook Live sessions and the videos and my book and the work that I do is I want to give you the tools to help you understand who you are and how awesome you are and where you fit in the big picture of things in our world and what your role is. And so that's kind of like the underlying intention behind what I'm doing. So I hope that maybe the work, this information will help invite you and strike your curiosity to get to know yourself and more intimately and really see how wonderful you are. So I want to talk today about your personal month in numerology, and I'm also going to include the personal day because that really makes things more specific, and it's something that you can kind of use as a tool to kind of get a sense of what is your energy for the day type thing. And it gives you a clue as to what you might find yourself in the middle of. And usually the way it works is that these energies, these numerology archetypal energies are subtle. They're like the planetary energies. They're just out there and they gently affect our energy fields. They do affect us, but it's very easy to not notice them, to miss them. And if you do sense something, you just say, that's just nonsense. And so it's very easy to override them. So so these things are very subtle. And so what you may notice is usually you'll notice these energetic influences after the fact. So, maybe when you look back on your day or look back on yesterday or something like that, you'll say, wow, I was really tired. I just didn't want to deal with people yesterday. Or maybe, a friend called you and wanted you to come and help them. And, or maybe you found yourself embroiled in conflicts that you had to help mediate and resolve. And then when you look back at what the daily energy was in your monthly theme, then you'll sort of get a sense of, oh, well, that's just part of the energetic cycle and the flow of life that's going on, and this is how it affects me on a personal level. So what I want to talk about for a second before I get involved in the mini readings is how can you use this energy? How can you use this numerology and understanding your personal month and your personal year and your personal day as a tool? And what I found is that it works good as sort of like a planning tool. So if you're going to take a vacation, you might want to do that in a 5 personal month, which is all about travel and adventure and risk-taking and exploring new possibilities. If you want to take a break, if you're just kind of like in overwhelm mode and you need to step back and really nurture yourself and take care of yourself, you might want to do that in a personal 7 month. And if you're launching your business and depending on which aspect of it you're working on, you might want to do that in a 2 month or a 4 month or an 8 month or a 5 month if there's lots of communication. So you can sort of, it's like you can do these things on your own, but it helps if you have the universal energies supporting you in this. And that's what this numerology, understanding your personal years and your personal months and your personal days, that's how that helps support this. So what you're going to find as we work with this is that the numbers kind of like they fit together in layers and patterns, and it's kind of like the Russian nesting dolls, and they're all interconnected and they all fit on top of each other, and they make a code. So, and from this code, this code tells a story, and this story is how you are affected in your life because it's individual to each one of us. So I want to just try to see if I can help you understand this concept of the nesting a little bit. So in the numerology, when we're working with numerology cycles, we start out with the global theme of the year. So for this year, it's a number 11, which is a master number. It's about us mastering our fears and bringing together the polarities between us, mastering, balancing the feminine and the masculine, the outer and the inner, and connecting to our intuition and using our intuition to guide us into the unknown, into the unfamiliar. So that's sort of like the overall theme that's playing out for this year, and it affects everyone. And then we have our own personal cycles. So we have our personal year, which is based on our birthday and when our last birthday was. And all these calculations are on my website. I have a whole bunch of videos of how to calculate all these things, and they're in my book also. And I'll post that link at the end here. And then, inside that, so you have a yearly theme. Like last week we talked about the yearly theme for several people was the number 6, which is about service and responsibility and love and beauty and family and being the cosmic mother and, that sort of a theme. So you have your global theme of, stepping into something unfamiliar, and that's sort of like adding color to your personal theme, which may be of service. And then now we add a monthly theme. So every month it changes. So, we start in January and February, March, and now we're in April. And so we're working with the number 4 energies and how they relate to your personal theme and the universal numeric theme. So look at it this way. It's very confusing if you try to analyze it like that. But let's just pretend that the universal theme is this year is everyone, drinks coffee. So, maybe last year you drank orange juice and next year you're going to drink tea. But let's just pretend that this is that the universal theme is the universal drink this year is coffee. So then we get into the universal month, and and that might be we just drink Folgers coffee. That's what's offered. That's what's available for this particular month of April. So that's sort of like, okay, so here we're working with the theme of coffee. So now we come along as an individual and we have our own personal year, and then we have our personal month, and we actually have personal days. So let's say, for example, your personal year is you don't really care for Folgers, and you like to go to Starbucks. And then at Starbucks, then when you have your personal month, this month, you drink chocolate lattes, we'll say. And next month you'll drink something else. So, a chai or something like that. So, if you kind of get a sense of how these things, you've got these global themes, and then you've got how you fit into the global theme. And it's a tricky concept to grasp, and I hope that I've explained it in a way that you can understand. And if you don't, please let me know, and we'll keep working on it. So, so now I'd like to go ahead and let me see what I've got here. Let's go ahead and get started on some of the information that people have sent in for me. So if you with this, with we'll say with the coffee example, it's like we built up a code there. There's a story that goes with that. So let's say, that the universal year is 11. So you're drinking, coffee, and then, the universal month is, a 15/6. That's what April works out to be. So it's April from a cosmic level, a global level, is about service. And then service and responsibility and love and beauty. So then you add the calendar month, forget the universal, just the number, of April, the number 4, it's the 4th month in the cycle of our calendar month. Then that's all about details and organization and honesty and perseverance. And then you add your personal year and your personal month. And so that's where the variables come in. Let's say your personal year is a 6. That makes April a personal month of number 1, which is about initiating and starting and new ideas. And then if you take today's date, which is April 6th, so if you have the 1, which is your personal month, and you add the number of the day, 6, then you end up with a 7. So the story might go something like, today, take a break, take a break, take a rest break, go in and recharge yourself and do some self-care and connect with your, the spirit and your inner being and your intuition, and allow that to inspire you to a new way to approach your service, and to help that will help you take steps, figure out how to make steps that'll take steps towards collectively, all of us taking a leap of faith into the unknown, so that our world can become a happier, more balanced and peaceful place. So that's kind of an example of how the code can create a story. So now that I've sort of given you a hint, let's go into some real life situations. So I appreciate all the people who have been enjoying working with my book. I'm really grateful that that you're curious and working at exploring new ways of looking at things. So so the first one I'm going to do here is for Shelley. And so she's in a personal year of a 6. And so then, there were several of the ones I did that were in a personal year of 6. So when you add your personal year of 6 to the number 4, that gives you end up with a personal month of number 1. So if you want to just tell the story, you've got the numbers you're working with on a personal level are the 6 and the 4 and the 1. So this might, and then if you want to add in the day, that makes the personal day being a 7. So getting back to the example I just had, so the story you might have for today, the story the code might be suggesting for you today is take a rest break today. Take a time for some self-care, and maybe you can find, and during this time you're taking a break, you will find some new ideas, some new ways, some new steps that you can do that will help you be of better service. Or maybe another way to look at it is you'll get an inspiration to do a different kind of service, or to have a different outlook on your service that you do, the work that you do, the help that you give to other people. Or you'll get some sort of an inspiration that comes from the 7, and it matches up with the number 1. The 1 and the 7 are both mind numbers, and they work really well together. And then once you have this idea, then the number 4 helps put it into material form. And then, of course, the form is going to be doing your service. This is so so each month, the good thing about the fact that you have personal months is you have your theme. It's kind of like getting back to your cup of coffee again. You know, you have your theme, but you can try different things with it. So each month you get to try some different aspect of drinking coffee. I mean, maybe you do it in the morning, maybe you do it at night, maybe you put sugar in it, maybe you don't put sugar in it, you know, maybe you add a little something extra or put some spices in it, or I mean, there's all these variations that you can do, but you still, you know, the root is the coffee. So when you have a personal year, it's kind of like the root, the foundation, and then the personal month and the personal days are like the gentle movement that happens as the year goes by. It's the natural flow of cycles. So since you are a projector, you might really want to pay attention to your days of rest and recharging come up, because for you it's really important. So the next one I'm going to do is for Kristen, and she is in a personal year of 11, which is going to really affect her because this is also a global year of the number 11. And so what that means is just like this whole theme of stepping into the unknown and trusting her intuition, your intuition, to guide you to the right places to step into this unfamiliar territory. It's like amplified. And for her, as a matter of fact, today is a personal day of 11. So we've got this 11, the 11, 11 theme for Kristen going on today. And so it's like, you know, it's like lightning flashes of intuition, sparks, and you know, connecting to spirit and standing on her own 2 feet. And this, you know, this is a really powerful day for her. But this is a personal 6. It's a personal month of number 6. So this theme becomes, how do you bring this whole theme of having the courage to bring balance between what's on that side of the veil and what's on this side of the veil of the unknown with the known. How do you bring balance to this whole thing and make it be of service? I mean, how can you apply that to share that with other people, so that this theme that you have within you and is being broadcast from you is it's helping others, I guess, is one way of putting it, because service is basically, you know, you're helping somebody, you're sharing your information, you're, you know, doing things with them, or ideally what the number 11 is teaching someone how to have the tools to do it for themselves. So this is a very powerful day for you, Kristen. So I hope you're enjoying it. So Laura is in a personal number 1 year, and this makes this a personal number 5 day, and it's an 11. No, it's a personal 5 month, and it's a personal 11 day. So here we got this theme of 11 again, about stepping into the unknown and standing on your own 2 feet and bringing balance, and you know, and between the polarities. So that's the theme for her today. So, you know, so the way this may show up for both Kristen and Laura today is that you might find that something is happening in your life that is causing you to have to either notice that there are things that are out of balance, and because you notice that, it sparks something in your intuition that says, oh, well, this is how you go about bringing balance together. And since number 2 is the root of the master number 11, it's about communication and working with people in relationship, which also fits in with the number 6 that she has for personal month of service. But now for Laura, we've got a number 5 personal month in a 1 personal year. So the story that is going on for Laura is today is a day of breakthroughs for her in the change and the transformation and the movement that's going on for this particular month. For the month of April, there's going to be a lot of change and movement and looking at things from all sides and being flexible and going with the flow and taking some risks and having freedom and finding freedom. And with the number 1 as an overall theme, it's about initiating something new for her, for you, Laura. And in this form of the initiation and creating something new that is different, mutative, it's going to bring change. And this is the month that you can really take a look at the change that whatever this idea that you are initiating, whatever this goal, this new intention that you're initiating this year, this is a month where you can feel 2 things. One is it's like you have a lot of freedom, and it's like, oh, anything, the sky is the limit. And the flip side is you could be feeling really restricted and limited. And so then you're pushing to have some freedom. So, it could go either way with that. And then if you add in the day's energy about breakthroughs, so, it may work out so that you get some sort of an insight that sets you free, or that adds a new dimension of freedom to your original idea or your original intention. So enjoy this energy. It's great that you have going on, and all of you if this makes sense to you and what you have experienced. So let's do Virginia, and she's also in a personal 1 year and a personal 5 month and a personal 11 days. So what I said for Laura also applies to you, Virginia, about the idea that you're here, you're starting something new this year, your personal year, and and this is going to go for you through till August, till your birthday. So you're in this initiating. You're well into your initiating creative cycle, and you're getting your ideas formulated, and getting some outlines of how you want to define your ideas. And so now you're in the 5 month, and so this is a time to really take a look at your ideas and look at them from all angles and see how they really, is it really working? Is it, what do you need to change? This 5 is about change. It's about looking at things from all sides. It's about mobility, being flexible, going with the flow, taking risks, taking inner journeys, taking outer journeys, and also has a theme of freedom. So see, and because you're also dealing with the 11, which is a little bit of a intense number, today you can take a look at, is there something that is limiting you from breaking through to whatever it is that you're trying to create this year. So you just kind of relax and just see what happens, and trust your intuition, because it will guide you through. The thing with the 5 energy is it's kind of a restless energy, and you can go in 10 different directions at one time, and it's kind of hard to focus. So which is fine, because when you're so scattered like that, you do pick up tidbits from all sorts of places, and then you can bring those tidbits back in to help support your overall theme of being in a personal initiation cycle. So, and the same actually applies for Laura. She just had a birthday. So she's just in the initiation part of this number one cycle. So, we're all in varying stages. And so these numbers sort of apply a little bit differently. They have little subtle differences. So the last one I'm going to do is for Judy. And here again, this number one theme has come up a lot today. The number one, personal month 5, and the personal day 11. And this is all going to go through till August too. So what I said for Virginia is going to apply to Judy a lot too, because it's like you're in the middle of your initiating cycle, and so the number 5 energy is going to support allowing you to see things from other sides and maybe see something you haven't seen before. And so that's the advantage of having the number 5 energy. It's like it's a free energy. It's like, think of a bird flying, they can look down and they can see all sorts of things, and that's the advantage of this particular energy of this particular month, is to allow you to look at things and don't just jump on something and take and run with it, which is what number 5s like to do. It's like, oh, that'll work, let's go, and then a few minutes later say, no, let's take this one and let's go that way, So just use this time for all of you people who are in a number 5 month. Take the energy, take these insights, take these visions that you have, these ideas, because number 5 is a very mental energy. And so just take all these ideas and then just jot them down. And then use your natural strategy, to know what is the right next best step, when you move into the next month, which will be a 6th month for you. It'll help you be a little more stable with it. So, by applying the energies of April, which is about structure and about being organized, take and allow these ideas to come in and just organize them and leave them sit. And then as time goes by, let your, some people have emotional waves, and you need to allow enough time to go by to see if this idea feels good, when you're in this state and when you're in this state. And some people, need to wait to see how it reflects back to them, get some external feedback for, to see if it's the right idea. But collect all the ideas, see everything from all different angles, and then sit on it and let it percolate. And then you'll know the right next step to take. So I hope this gives you some insight into how to, well, first of all, about your lives, and then also how to use this information. That's, you can use my book that talk about when you calculate your own personal days. You can look up and see what number, what energy that day is. It kind of gives you a theme. So, if you have a big important meeting, that day, one day you can calculate the date and say, okay, I better really try to stay focused, or I better, pray for guidance that I say the right thing, or whatever it is. It just kind of helps give you a clue of what you can do today or that day, and it helps make you more aware of the energies around you, because it's really important to understand, for us to become fully activated and fully live our purpose fully. It's like we really need to know what's going on inside of us. We need to hear and feel our inner nudges, and then use some tools and strategies to be able to act on the ones that are most beneficial for us. So this is all just part of the process. So I hope this makes sense. I invite you to share with me any of your insights and any of your experiences. I'd love to know, how this fits together with you. So we are only scratching the surface of the book, the surface of the book, but we're only scratching the surface of numerology, and really only scratching the surface of who you are as a energetic being that is so full of potentials and possibilities that are just longing to come out. So stay tuned. We'll keep working on this. I will continue working with this, adding more layers to this whole layer of numerology, so that you can understand yourself and understand how you can make it work for you as a tool. So until next time, enjoy your personal cycles. Oh, wait a minute. So I'm just going to take a minute here and talk to Gina. So Gina, let me get out my pencil here. You are in a number 9 personal year. So that means if you add 4 to the number 9, that makes a 13-4. Because that makes your month a personal month of 4, which, let's see. And then I was going to figure out, so 4 and 6. So that makes today a personal 1 day. So what that means is, so you've got the 9. 9 is about endings and releasing and completion. So you're at this year, until your next birthday, you are in a cycle of wrapping things up. You're wrapping up the last project that you worked on over the last 9-year cycle. And, this project could be a physical project, or it could just be a personal growth project. But at any rate, you are wrapping this up, and and it's kind of a time to sort of evaluate, what did you like, what you didn't like, what worked, what didn't work, and start formulating the seeds for what you want to do next. And since this is a personal day of number 1, which is all about initiating new ideas, this is a perfect day to kind of like mold this over, from a broader perspective, just to say, to help reinforce what's the next new thing, what's the next new cycle that you want to create, what's the next new thing you want to experience in your next cycle of 9 years. So since today is a number 4, is that right? Yeah, it is. It's number 4 month. This month, the theme of this month for you, laying a foundation, setting plans. It's about taking care of the details and getting organized and being focused. So how this applies to the number 9 energy, it's like in the cycle of the release and the contemplation. This is a time to maybe focus on the details of what worked, or the structure of what worked, and then use today's energy, the number 1 energy, to formulate some new ideas from that. So this is a good month. It's a good month. The number 4 energy is a good time to get things done, because you can focus your energy, and you can be more persistent, more determined, and it's also on a less tangible level. It's all about honesty with yourself, and this is where it comes in with the number 9 too, because you really have to see, what do you want to let go of? What is it time to let go of? Because number 4s don't like to let go of things. So be honest with yourself and be truthful with yourself. and it's about your own personal honor and integrity. So this is like a month where you can actually take a look at what do you need to do to be in integrity with yourself, with your higher self, with the essence of who you are. So, and then today's energy, the day, the number 6 day is all about, just new ideas. You'll be inspired by new ideas on how to apply this. So I hope that helps you understand that. So I appreciate everyone who's joined, and I appreciate having this opportunity to be able to talk with you about this topic that I find so much fun. I just love to calculate things. So it beats the heck out of doing taxes. So at any rate, I will see you next week. And thank you.